Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. By the time I get it uploaded, your lunchtime video for you today. This is a request. Dylan contacted me, and Dylan said, hello, mate, I don't know if you do requests for subjects for your videos, and I said, I certainly do. Otherwise, I'm going to run out of things to talk about. So, we're doing his video today. It's about Husilos. It's about the signings West Ham have made under him, and it gets us off the subject to the owners and the manager, at least for one day. One brief bit of respite. I've written it down on the back of this bit of bathroom paper. Well, actually, actually, that's disgusting, isn't it? Not actual bathroom paper, if you know what I mean. The pen would go right through it, wouldn't it? Like a finger. Anyway, I've got it there. I've got a list. So, anyway, before I go any further, this video is sponsored by the OneFootball app. Clickable, downloadable link underneath the screen. It's down there. It's down there. You tailor the app to your own specifications. You rule out any teams you don't want to hear about and you get updates. I just get updates for West Ham. You know that. You've heard me say it already. It's all pretty depressing news at the moment. But you may hear, first of all, when we change manager, although it'll probably get leaked first. Anyway, here we go. So, Dylan, thank you for your list. We are going to go and assess each player in turn. The point with Husilos is this. Husilos has been put under pressure because of the signings of Roberto in particular. So people are saying his signings are no good. And it's almost a stick to beat him with. Now, we're going to look at these signings, decide whether the signings have been good or whether they haven't. But what it certainly does do is, I mean, we've been making crap signings for a very, very long time. So I don't want to say since Husilos has come in, we're making crap signings. I'll let you decide. I've got a list of players here. Clearly, you're not going to agree on everything I say. This is my opinion. You might agree with some that I say. You might disagree on others. But this is my take on it. I'd like to hear yours underneath. And we'll go from there. So, this is Dylan's list, and we'll work down it. So, the first, let's say, Husilos Pellegrini signing that is written on his list, Felipe Anderson. Let's go. Has it been a successful signing or not for each of these players? Before I go there, I think, bearing in mind our form, it's hard to say that anyone has been successful. But I guess what we want to look at is, will they come good or not? Felipe Anderson is a skillful player, is a fast player. I don't think he's flourishing under the current system. I think with other players around him, I think we still have a good player. That being said, he's not scored a goal for a very, very long time. So at the moment, do I think Felipe Anderson is a good player? Yes, I do. Do I think he is £38 million worth of player? I don't. But I don't think it's all over. I still think the best is yet to come from Felipe Anderson. I really do. And he's a player I could see playing in other good teams as well. So I don't think he's a lost cause by any stretch of the imagination. But I do admit I do have a little weak point for fast players who are technically good. So I do tend to give them a little bit more leeway than other players, and than a defender that's performing badly, for instance. I do like me attacking players. Next one on the list is Yarmolenko. I think it's been a disastrous signing. And I know a lot of you are not going to agree with that. But I've got to put it in the context of where we are now, which is halfway through his second season. Well, he missed a whole season last year. He scored a couple of goals, had a couple of good games before he got injured. He's not injured now, but he's out of form. He doesn't look like he's doing anything. Again, I take it the whole team is out of form. And I take this into consideration with everybody. I think it's hard for anyone to flourish in his team at the moment. But we've got to look at him individually. I almost think the same again. I think he's had a couple of good games and we've not seen much of him. I don't think he's helped, again, by the lack of pace in the team. I think you can have a Yarmolenko in the team, but I think you need a lot of pace around him. And I think, if you've got a slow striker and you've got a slow midfield, then it's going to be really hard for him. I think he looks at his best when Fredericks is bombing past him because Fredericks is quick. But Yarmolenko is slow. He's a one-trick pony because he cuts onto his left and shoots with his left. But it's very good. It's a good trick. Unfortunately, tactically, we're not getting him into that position enough. But I'm not sure. Like I just said with Felipe Anderson, I don't think we've seen the best of Felipe Anderson. I think we have seen the best of Yarmolenko. I don't think we're going to see Yarmolenko going another 10-20% past the best that he's already achieved. Third on Dylan's list is Issa Diop. Easy to knock him at the moment, I think, but I do think we've got a good centre-back there. I really do. I think he's going to struggle under this manager again. I know I said I wouldn't speak about the manager, but I've got to put it in the context of the team and how they're playing. I think Diop playing with at Liverpool, for instance, alongside Virgil van Dijk, is a very, very different player to Diop playing in Pellegrini's team. I don't think we've seen the best of him. I think he will get better and better. I think he's probably better than West Ham we are at the moment. I think he'll end up playing relatively regularly for France. I think the fact he was a 19-year-old captain at Toulouse shows that it was a good signing. I think that's a good signing. I think Issa Diop is a good sign at 23 million. I really do think he is. He's had a dip at the moment, but I do expect him to come good. Particularly once we get a manager who's a little bit more defensively savvy, I'd expect to see him back in the team and doing really, really well and causing opposition strikers a lot of trouble. I mean, they're going to find it hard to get round Issa Diop. Balbuena is next on the list. I still think it's been a good signing, really good value. Again, let's take the I said about Felipe Anderson maybe not being £38 million worth of player. Well, Balbuena, I can't remember how much he cost, but I think it was 4 or 5 million maybe. Certainly, we've had value out of him. I think he looks good. I just repeat what I said about Diop. I think in a better system and a more organised manager with a better shield, a better midfield shield. We've got to put this into the equation as well. I think that the midfield don't protect our defence as well as other teams in the league's midfields protect theirs. So Balbuena, I still think is a good signing. Sanchez is a funny one because he was free. But he's earning a lot of wages. I mean, a lot of wages. He never plays. He never plays because he's not good enough. So the 2-year deal is a strange one. Because I do believe it's £75,000 a week. That is a hell of a lot of money for somebody who ain't going to play. And he was never going to play. He was never going to sign. We're never going to sign this guy on a free and he was going to come in and feature in our first team. 75 grand a week for backup. So whilst he was free, I still think it's expensive. There is no way that this can be deemed a successful transfer. It really can't. It can't. Free or not, it's just not. It's not good. I don't like that one at all. Jack Wilshere. I'm sad about this because I really like the way he plays football. If I could play football like somebody, I'd like to play football like Jack Wilshere. I love the way he moves his head around and he looks for space. He passes it and immediately moves into space. I love the weight of his pass. I love his awareness. I love the fact he plays with his head up. I really like Jack Wilshere as a player. I really hoped, beyond hope, maybe, that because of his last season at Arsenal, he featured quite a lot his last season at Arsenal, played quite a lot. I thought his injury woes are behind him. They're not. He is always unavailable. And it's a real shame. I'd love to have seen, I was going to say 10 games. I'd love to have seen Jack Wilshere play for West Ham 6 games in a row starting and then him start to get a rhythm. I don't think we're ever going to see it. I don't think Jack Wilshere is ever going to be fit for 6 games in a row. And it pains me to say it. So I like the player. I liked the signing. And I like the lad. I think he's a good lad. Yeah, I'm disappointed about that, but it has to be deemed as a failure. 3-year contract, big wages for somebody that doesn't play. It's got to be a failure. And as I say, I'm sorry. Sebastian Haller, next on the list. What can I say? I could almost repeat back what I said about Felipe Anderson, apart from the quick part. Is he £45 million worth of striker at the moment? You'd have to say no. Is he flourishing in the team? No. I find the signing strange. I think we signed a player who flourishes in a 3-man attack and we've put him in a 1-man attack. So from that point of view, bearing in mind we play with one striker, I think it has been a bad signing. And again, it pains me to say because I do think he's a good player. I also don't think he's as mentally tough as we'd like him to be. So things need to be, I think he's already, like you used to see Chicharito going off with his head bowed. He was clearly disappointed with the system, clearly disappointed with what was going on, and didn't feel that the team were playing to his strengths. I think you've got a similar thing with Haller. Not everybody has got the mental capacity and the drive that someone like Declan Rice or Pablo Zabaleta have got, that they just get on with it regardless. I mean, not many in every team. They really don't. And I don't think he's one of them. I think everything needs to be going in Haller's favour for it to go well. But I would suggest that under a different manager that we get a different player as well. And as I said, with a couple of the players, Anderson and Diop in particular, we've not seen the best of Sebastian when we better not seen the best of him yet. I don't think we have. I think there's a player there I think anybody is going to recognise. Like when Moyes came in. When Moyes came in, and what he did was immediately stuck Lanzini very, very close to Arnautovic. I think someone comes in and they recognise what's going on and they realise there's a player there, and they'll probably coach him to battle more for the ball when the ball comes over in the air, and they'll probably instruct us to get more crosses in. I think we're not seeing the best of him. A Jetty, I said in a cup of tea last night, I don't even know. But it's been a bad signing. I can't say he's a bad player. I've barely seen him play. He's not really had a chance. Because of what I just said about Haller, because we play with one up. Would have liked to, you know, maybe a run of... Before we got into... You couldn't do it now, because we are right in a mess, right? But, you know, when we've beaten Watford and we've beaten Norwich and stuff like that, maybe that was the point for a few games, whilst we were comfortable, we were in the top 6 or whatever it was, to play with 2 strikers, to play him, Jetty and Haller up front. We might have seen if he was any good or not. We don't know. So it's been an absolute failure of a signing. We sold Chicharito, who basically wasn't playing, but would come off the bench and score some goals. And for the same money, we bought a Jetty, who sits on the bench, but doesn't really come off it and doesn't come and score any goals. We might as well have kept Chicharito for the final season of his contract. I mean, it was the same money, wasn't it? I know Chicharito was earning massive amounts on the wage bill, but we've saved massive amounts on the wage bill, so don't know. He left a couple off his list that I noticed. I bet once I do this, people are going to say you've forgotten this, that, and the other. But I'm working off Dylan's list, so we'll blame Dylan. He left Roberto off the list. I guess he left Roberto off the list because I don't even need to pass comment. This is the I think this is the transfer that the sources and the in the nose and all and the board or whatever are using to beat Husilos with the Roberto signing. Do I really need to comment on it? It's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, it's a terrible signing. Apparently he had no form before he signed for us either. I haven't looked into it too much, but I do remember Gio suggesting that. Speaking of Gio, I need to get this video wrapped up because he don't like it if I do videos over 15 minutes. He don't watch them. Rude. Very, very rude, by the way. So that's Roberto. Martin as well. You have to say Martin has been a good signing. It's provided... It's not cost us any money. He's on low wages. He came in as an emergency keeper. He kept a clean sheet in our only win in recent memory. And he's made us not have to have Roberto in goal. And he has provided the only nice story, the only narrative surrounding West Ham in recent time. The only bit of joy and the only bit of happiness we seem to have had recently was Martin keeping a clean sheet, breaking down in tears because of his love for the club and going up and giving his dad a cuddle. That is the best thing that's happened to West Ham recently. So there you go. There's the list of signings. I'll leave it up to you to decide whether they've been successful or whether they haven't. Whether Husilos is a damn fine director of football or a busted flush. Whether David Sullivan could have brought in better players than that. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know if this is going to affect the mic. It is absolutely bucketing it down out there. It's raining quite heavily. So anyway, so that's I'll let you decide. Form has a lot to do with it. If we were playing better, if we had a slightly better system, if things were going better, I think we'd be seeing a lot more from a lot of these players. But that's my appraisal. I was going to say, let me know if you agree or disagree. You'd have to do it for every single point, wouldn't you? But I'm sure you'll agree with some, disagree with others. What I say, football's all about opinions. No, football's not all about opinions. It's about a ball and a bit of grass and loads of men kicking it around. But opinions are certainly welcome on this channel. Right, I've got something else, right? I'll tell you a little story. I've only got 54 seconds, Gio. I'll tell you a little story. Yesterday, I got home, and it was a box there. It's Christmas time. I've ordered loads of stuff. Not only have I ordered loads of stuff, my wife has ordered a lot of stuff. Amazon, just packages, parcels, all the time. I mean, either she is bankrupting us as a household, or I'm getting a lot of presents for Christmas. I'm hoping I'm getting that Christmas tree. I'm getting a lot of presents for Christmas, right? There's a lot of stuff. Anyway, there was a box there. I thought, oh, one for me. One for me. But oh, that's heavy. It was packed full of these. I mean, I have got 100 of these magazines. It's the latest Blowing Bubbles. Now, David, who runs Blowing Bubbles, well, unless I've missed the email or missed the memo or the message, he never told me he was going to send me 100 copies of Blowing Bubbles. Now you usually got to pay for these. I'm going to go into it more tomorrow, all right? Basically, I'm going to... Anyway, they've got an article, an interview with... I mean, it's a nice cover. We were just talking about that. They've got an interview in here with David Gold. I need to flick through it. I need to read it all, because there are several different articles on it. There's an article from ex-West Ham employee. Here you go. The X-Files. What's he talking about? Roberto is the worst keeper he's ever seen. There's a lot of people in it. I need to look for it, but there is an interview. There's my mate Greg. He's written in there. I think Emily's in there as well somewhere. There she is. No, she's not. Sorry. That's not her. Anyway, there's an interview. There's an interview in here with David Gold, where this is where David Gold says that he is... we had to move. He's pleased we still moved to the Olympic Stadium. So I'm going to read this tonight. I'm going to go through it, and then we will deal with the article tomorrow. What I'm also going to do, because I've got 100 bloody magazines at home, I think I can only... I'm going to have to do it out of my own pocket, right? So I'm going to have to do it for the UK, because I mean, obviously postage going to get silly. I don't know how we'll do it. I'm happy to send off... I'll make sure some go down the boats to give away. But what I'll do is I'll take 10 of these. I'll take 10 of these. I'll buy some envelopes later on today from the post office. And as long as it's in the UK, I mean, they're good. There's lots and lots of stuff in them. I'll send them off to people. All right? I'll literally send off... I'll pay for the postage. I'll pay for the envelopes. I'll just do it myself. I'll use the One Football money. Did I do the intro to One Football intro? I did. One Football app in the description below. I'll use the One Football money, and I'll send 10 of these off to people for free. So you've got some reading material. All I go and ask is people just do a search. Just do a Google search. Blowing Bubbles magazine. Give it a look. You might want to subscribe. They've got the online version. You go and read it online if you want. But anyway, we'll read through it, and we will dissect. We will dissect the David Gold interview. That's it. Right, I'm going. Oh, 17 minutes, Gio. 17 minutes. I gotta go. I forgot about 4 Nauls. I see what happens when you rush these things, you know. Should have taken me time. Brought a cup of tea in the van. 4 Nauls. Crikey. Okay, right. Look, plainly and simply, good technical player. I don't think he's going to make it. I really don't. I don't think he's quick enough. I don't think he's cut out for the Premier League. Clearly got some ball skills and whatnot. But doesn't seem to have a trick to go past a player. I like his endeavour. I like his character. I think he's going to work hard. I'm not entirely sure that whoever comes in as manager is going to play him, particularly when Lanzini's fit. So time will tell whether that's a successful transfer or not. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that because he looks like he's starting to, well, just be involved, not even in being informed. He's starting to get played a little bit. But I don't think he's, as I say, I don't think he's going to be making 100 appearances for West Ham or anything like that. That is it. I am done. I'm done now. Honestly, I'll see you later.